Shifting focus to Libya now, the North African country continues to face mounting tensions of rival administrations, threatening to end a 4-year period of relative peace. The crisis over the control of Central Bank of Libya between the Benghazi-based Eastern administration headed by Khalifa Haftar and the Tripoli-based Western administration headed by Prime Minister Abdul Hamid Dbeibah threatens a new bout of instability in the country that is a major oil producer. Now, in the latest, Libya's oil output has fallen more than half amid the ongoing dispute. Production of about 700,000 barrels a day was offline, and exports were halted at several ports. Libya's National Oil Corporation, which controls the country's oil resources, said that the average output stood at around 590,000 barrels on Wednesday. Libya pumped about 1.18 million barrels per day in July. It says that total losses in the past 3 days after the Haftar-led administration announced the closure of oil fields was at about $120 million. Haftar's administration, that controls nearly 90% of Libya's oil fields, has vowed to keep oil production shut off until the UN-recognized Presidency Council and the Tripoli-based government in the West reinstate veteran Central Bank Governor Sadiq Al-Kabir. Libyan Presidency Council, headed by Mohammed al-Menfi, dismissed Al-Kabir on the 18th of August. Now, this move was rejected by the Eastern-based House of Representatives Parliament and Khalifa Haftar's force called the Libyan National Army. The violent contest between the sides on the central bank chief has exacerbated the economic crisis in the country. The interim governor of the bank, who has been appointed by the Presidential Council, says the situation will be under control in the coming days.
We stand by the citizens regarding everything. Let me be clear and honest with you. I feel sorry that a minor disagreement leads to closing organizations, shutting them down, and stopping salaries for the people. Unfortunately, I don't want to dwell on the subject, but we have taken steps to correct the situation, and hopefully, within the next 2 or 3 days, everything will be in our hands and under control. I want to reassure the Libyan citizens on this matter.
However, this reassurance has not been enough for citizens who have been troubled due to cash shortages.
Enough. Give us our salaries and fix our country. The youth are lost. Many have turned to drugs because of you. You steal our money and live luxuriously abroad while we study in the worst schools, where even the bathrooms are non-existent. Elderly women are sick. Sadiq Al-Kabir, leave.
I swear to God, when you look at the current situation in the country, they've shut down the central bank and left people in a terrible state. Just look around, the shops are empty, there are no services, nothing at all. They've cut off electricity, cash is scarce, and there's even a shortage of gasoline. They won't let us move, live, or work. Honestly, I have no idea where they're trying to take us.
Regarding the liquidity issues and the struggles citizens face due to cash shortages and disruptions in banking procedures and services, honestly the problems began with the decision to impose a 27% tax hike by Sadiq Al-Kabir. There was no need for this, and as a result, we saw a rise in prices, a cash shortage, and the public suffered. Even the use of cards has become limited.
Sacked Governor Sadiq Al-Kabir has been targeting Dbeibah government in recent months. He has accused Tripoli of overspending and mismanaging the country's oil revenues. The Dbeibah government accuses him of favoring the forces in the east. Now, Libya's central bank dominates its economy. It not only owns the 2 main commercial banks, but also holds $27 billion in reserves, most of it from oil revenues. It is also the only globally recognized depository for Libyan oil revenues, which is a vital source of income for the war-torn country. The United Nations and the United States are pushing to convene an emergency meeting of the rival parties. The UN support mission in Libya has called both sides to hold talks and for reopening Libya's oil fields immediately. The UN says both sides must refrain from using the country's primary revenue source for politics.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree for humanity, one tree for Mother Earth, one tree for our future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
On the show today, the T20 World Cup bandwagon has moved across to the West Indies. What can we expect from this?
Hello, I'm Alyson coming to you from Durban, South Africa. Today we have a special show.
Start with a report on India's shifting nuclear posture. For the first time since India officially became a nuclear power.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost.